Hey, what? So the next is question number 2. A student is conducting an experiment to determine the focal length of, so what is the nature of the lens he is using over here? Convex. He places an object at a distance of 30 centimeter. So we all knows then object distance u is equal to 30 centimeter. So since it is there on the left hand side, we need to add it as minus. So u is equal to minus 30 centimeter, and he obtains a sharp image on the screen. Here the main word screen represents the nature of the image is going to be real. Clear? Since it is using convex lens, the image will be formed on the right side. Suppose if it is a mirror, means it will be there on the left side. Since here our lens is in, it will be there on the right side. So as per the sign convention rule, so V is equal to how much centimeter is then? 60. Since it is there on the right side, means either plus 60 or minus 60, plus 60. So by using this one, we are going to find the focal length. So what is the formula? 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. Don't get confused. 1 by f is equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u means this is mirror formula. But here what optical device they are using? Lens. So we need to use the formula 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So 1 by f is equal to 1 by, what is the value of v over here? 60. Here on minus, then add that minus as it is, minus 1 by, what is the value of u? Minus 30. So minus and minus will get cancelled each other. So remaining what will be then? 1 by f is equal to 1 by 60 plus 1 by 30. Now do the cross multiplication. 30 plus 60 by 60 into 30. Let the number be as it is. Don't simplify. So 1 by f is equal to, simplify the numerator alone, 30 plus 60, it is going to be 90 by 30 into 60. Either we need 1 by f or f. F we need. So it will take a reciprocal. So the denominator will go to the numerator and numerator will come to the denominator. 30 into 60 by 90. So 1 30s are 3 30s are 1 3s are 23s are. So the focal length f is equal to plus 20 centimeter. So look at the option over here. So where you are having option B. Next. Next question, assertion and reason. So this concept is based upon what chapter? Magnetic effect of electric current. Okay. So in that what they are saying, assertion, right hand thumb rule can determine the direction of magnetic field produced around a straight current carrying conductor. Is it true or false? It's a true statement. Clear. Now go to the reason, just read that one. According to this rule, thumb finger represents the direction of current and the rest of the curled fingers, rest of the curled fingers means they are saying about the remaining 4 fingers represents the direction of the magnetic field. That means reason also is true So our answer it is both A and R, that means assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. That means our answer it is option number A. Next. So read the question. In an household circuit, two devices are connected in parallel. So we all know, sir, what is meant by parallel combination when the resistors are connected to a common point. So totally how many devices are there? Two is there. So let us take it as R1 and R2. Clear. Next, what is the resistance of the first device? One is having a resistance of 20 ohm and the other is having a resistance of 30 ohm. If the voltage across both the devices 120 volt, voltage is represented by the letter V. So V is equal to 120 volt. Calculate the power which is dissipated by each device. Clear. So that means P1 also we need to calculate, P2 also we need to calculate, and after that what they are asking, and the total power which is consumed by the object. Total power means we are going to add everything. P is equal to P1 plus P2. So related to power, totally we are having four formulas are there. P is equal to E by T. P is equal to V into I. P is equal to V square by R. P is equal to I square into R. In these four formulas, which formula we are going to use in order to calculate the power? First or second or third or fourth? Third formula. Why? Because based upon that only are having the values there. Resistance is there, V is there. So you can use the formula P is equal to V square by R. So substitute over here. So what is the formula? Let us calculate first P1. P1 is equal to V square by R1. So P1 is equal to V square means V into V. What is the value of V they gave? 120. So 120 into 120 by what is the value of R1? 20. 0, 0 will get cancelled each other. 1 2s are 6 2s are. So P1 is equal to multiply 12 and 6 alone. 12 6 are 72. 1 0 is over here, add at last. 720 watt. Like this calculate for P2. So P2 is equal to V square by R2. So P2 is equal to, already we know the value of V. V it is going to be 120 into 120 by, what is the value of R2? 30. So 0, 0 cancel each other. 1 3s are, 4 3s are. So P2 is equal to 12 into 4 it is going to be 48. 1 0 is in, add at last 480 watt. Now calculate the total power. P is equal to P1 plus P2. What is the value of P1 we calculated? 720. And what is the value of P2 we calculated? 480. Now add these two numbers. 720 plus 480. Add all the numbers. 0, 10, balance 1 will be there. 7 plus 1, 8, 8 plus 4, 12. So P, the total power is going to be, P is equal to 1200 watt. Just read the question. Sarah is presented with a challenge. She need to explain and how to identify the three types of mirror either it is given as plane mirror or convex or concave without physically touching them. Clear? So, suppose just assume you are having 3 mirrors are there. Let us take the first mirror as x and second mirror as y and the third mirror as z. Clear? So, we need to identify what is the mirror x is there and y is there and z. So, let us take first condition. So, we are standing in front of a mirror. Clear? So, wherever you are standing, always your image appears in a form of same size. Either you are standing far away from the mirror or you are standing closer towards the mirror, and always it appears erect means this represents the nature of the mirror. What we are standing over here, it is called as the plane mirror. Clear? So, next we are standing in front of the second mirror, and if your image appears, sometimes it is erect and sometimes it is inverted based upon the position of where we are standing. This represents the nature of the mirror, it is called as concave. Reason it is concave can able to produce a real image. If it is real means the image it will be inverted, and concave can able to produce the virtual image. Suppose if you are standing in front between the pole and focus, by the time your image will be erect. So, that represents the nature of the image. What you are standing over here, it is called as concave. So, the next mirror what you are having is it. Suppose the image is there, always it is erect, but the size of the image if it is diminished means this represents the nature of the mirror. What we are standing is called as convex. Clear? So, here also always it will be erect, whereas here also always it will be erect, but the size only is going to determine the mirror what it is, either it is plane mirror or it is convex. If it is in a form of same size means it represents it as plane mirror. If it is in a form of diminished size means it represents it as convex. So, question number 38 in that A question, describe the relationship between focal length and power of the lens. So, we all knows then power is inversely proportional to the focal length of lens. Power is inversely proportional to the focal length of lens. So, after writing the statement you need to write the formula, and after writing this one we need to write the unit. So, what is the unit of power? The unit of power it is diopter. Another one unit also is there, what is it, but here we should not use it as what, because the question is related to the light chapter, that means related to the lens. Since it is there, by the time you need to write the unit as diopter, and after writing the unit we need to write in a symbol. So, what is the symbol of diopter? D. And then next question, imagine you are designing a magnifying glass and you have two lenses. So, if it is a magnifying glass means always we need to use only the convex. We should not use concave. The reason it is concave lens will produce a diminished image. The purpose of magnifying glass is to make the object to enlarge in size, but concave will produce a diminished image. So, we should not use the concave lens, we need to go only along with the convex lens. Clear? So, in the question what they said, and you have two lenses to choose from, one which is having a focal length of f is equal to 20 centimeter. So here clearly we identify the nature of the lens is convex. That means either it is plus 20 or minus 20. It is going to be plus 20. And the other with a shorter focal length. That means compared to this lens, the other lens is having a shorter focal length. That means it is going to be lesser than 20 centimeter. How would you calculate the power of each lens? First, let us find in these two lenses which one you are going to use for the magnifying glass. So here what we said, power is inversely proportional to the focal length. That means if focal length is getting increased means the power will get decreased. If focal length is getting decreased means the power will get increased. So here they didn't give any value. So let us assume the value of the focal length is going to be 15 centimeter like this. So let us name this one as lens L1 and this one as name lens L2. In these two lens, which lens is having shorter focal length? L1 or L2? L2. If L2 is having lesser focal length means that one only is going to have more power. That means we are going to have the power of lens L2. So this L2 only we need to prescribe. The reason it is, if focal length is less means that lens will be having more power will be there. So which lens is having more power, that lens only we need to prescribe if it is for a magnifying glass. And then, so we need to calculate the focal length power over here. So P is equal to 1 by F. So what is the value of F? It is given in the question. F is equal to 20 centimeter. As per the sign convention rule, it is going to be plus 20 centimeter. So whenever you are going to express the unit of power in diopter, always the focal length must only be in the form of meter, but here they gave in a form of centimeter. So first what we need to do, we need to convert that meter into centimeter into meter. For converting that one, we are going to divide the given number by using 100. 0, 0 will get cancelled each other, 2 by 10. So that means F is equal to 0.2 meter. So we converted the centimeter into a form of meter. Now substitute this value over here. So P is equal to 1 by, what is the value of F over here? 0.2. Since in the denominator we are having decimal places there, multiply and divided by 10. So P is equal to 1 into 10, 10. 0.2 into 10, 2. 1 2 0, 5 2 0. So power P is equal to plus 5 diopter. 5 minus. Power is equal to plus 5 diopter. For second lens, we can't able to calculate the focal length. The reason it is they didn't give the accurate value. They said that second lens is having a shorter focal length, but we don't know what is the value, so no need to calculate that one. So now go to the third one, question C. Explain how a shorter focal length will affect the magnification it provides. That means if focal length is less, as we said over here, if focal length is less means the power will be more, as it is inversely proportional to each other. So the next question, what chapter it is? Chapter name. Magnetic effect of electric current. Electricity. Read the first question. List the factors on which the resistance of the conductor of a wire depends upon. So then what are the factors the resistance depends upon means? Totally we all know that the 4 factors are there. What are the 4 factors are there? The first one is the length of the conducting material. Length is represented by the letter L. And second one is area of cross section is represented by the letter A. And third one is nature of material. And fourth one is temperature. T. Clear. So next, second question, why are metals are good conductors of electricity, whereas glass is a bad conductor of electricity? That means the question is based upon the conductors and insulators. Bad conductors means it is nothing but called as the insulators, what you read in our class 6th. Another name also it is there. What is another name? Bad conductors, insulators, or someone say poor conductors. So why the conductors are allowing electric current to pass through them means because conductor is having more number of free electrons, whereas here in insulator there is no free electrons. So that is the reason the metals are allowing the electric current to pass through them, whereas the glass is not allowing the electric current to pass through them. The reason it is glass is considered as the insulators and metals is considered as the conductors. Next, question number C. Why are alloys are commonly used in an electrical heating device? Give reason. So the reason it is alloys does not oxidize. What is the meaning of the word oxidize? Oxidize in the sense we will be calling it as the burn. So the reason it is alloy is having high melting point. The melting point of alloy is going to be high. Clear. So that is the reason alloys does not oxidize easily even if more amount of current is passing over there. So the next question, while studying the dependence of potential difference across a resistor on a current I passing through it, in order to determine the resistance of a resistor, a student took 5 readings for different values of current and plotted a graph between V and I. V and I means based upon what concept it is? It is based upon the Ohm's law. Clear. So now he got a straight line passing through the origin. So, he is doing an experiment over here. So, let us take the graph like this. So, always along the y-axis we need to consider the potential difference and along the x-axis we need to consider the current, and they said then he got a straight line which is starting from the origin. So, in the question what they are asking, what does the straight line signify? So, this straight line gives us the resistance of the conducting material. This straight line gives us the resistance of the conducting material. So, the reason it is slope is equal to, so since we are going to calculate the straight line over here, we need to use the formula what you are learning in our mathematics. The slope is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So, this is going to be our y-axis and this is going to be our x-axis. So, along y-axis what quantity we are having? V is it, that means potential difference, and along x-axis what quantity we are having? Current I is it. So, we all know the Ohm's law formula. What is the Ohm's law formula? V is equal to I into R. Take the I to the other side, here it is in multiplication, while coming by division other side it will become as multiplication. V by I is nothing but called as R. That means the slope of a potential difference and current graph will gives us the resistance R. So that means for this question the answer it is resistance. Next, write the method of determining the resistance of the resistor by using this graph. This one you need to write. Suppose if they are asking us to determine the values. Clear? Slope is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Along y axis we are having the potential difference is in, so V, and along x axis we are having current is in I. So the slope of V by I is nothing but called as R. The reason it is over here, V is equal to I into R, while the I is coming to the other side will become as division, V by I is equal to R. So to elaborate the process of accommodation in our human eye. So the accommodation is nothing but called as the power of accommodation. So we are just going to say about the process which is taking place over there. So what is meant by accommodation? The ability of our lens to change its focal length. By itself is called as power of accommodation, and this one is done by the ciliary muscles. Clear? So but in the question they asked us to elaborate this, so we need to write it fully over there. So how we are going to see a nearby object? Suppose if you are going to see a nearby object means our ciliary muscles will be in a state of contracted. So because of this reason the curvature of our eye lens will become thick, and due to this the focal length will get decreased. Same as it is if you are going to see a faraway object, the ciliary muscles will be in a state of a relaxed state. And then due to this what will happen to the curvature of our eye lens? The curvature of our eye lens will become thin and the focal length over here will get increased. So this is how it enables us to see the nearby object as well as the faraway object. So and then explain how the ciliary muscles and lens and retina works together to adjust the focus from a distant object to a nearby object. From a distant object to a nearby object means that means you are going to see a nearby object over here. This statement if you are writing once again. Clear? That means when you are going to see a nearby object, the ciliary muscles will be in a state of a contracted state and the curvature of our eye lens will become thick and the focal length will get decreased. Next, question C. Discuss the role of the optic nerve transmitting the final image to the brain. So this optic nerve, what role it is over here? So the whatever the objects we are seeing, it will be falling on the retina. So these signals will be transmitted to the brain via the optic nerve. Clear? So the signals will be transmitted from the brain, that means from the retina to the brain, we have through which nerve it is get transmitted? Through the optic nerve. And how the brain interprets this information to create a visual perception. Suppose you are going to see an object, a tree is in. So the light rays from the tree will pass towards the eye. It will enter through the cornea and then it will pass towards the lens. What type of lens we are having? So we are having the convex lens. So once the light ray is entering into the lens, So, the light rays will get converged and then it will fall on the retina. So, here only the image is going to be formed. But the image what we are going to obtain over here, it will be in a form of inverted. The reason it is, since the refracted rays are actually meeting. Since it is actually meeting over here, the nature of the image what you are going to get over here, it is called as the real image. Real image we all know that it will be in a form of inverted. But the same signal, when it is transmitted to the brain, our brain will accept the information how a object is located. Either it is going to be erect or it is going to be inverted. Here the object is in a form of erect. So, our brain also will resemble the same as it is how it is there. Clear? So, first read the question. Study the circuit shown in which three identical bulbs. What is the meaning of the word identical? All are going to be same. B1, B2 and B3 are connected in a form of parallel to a battery of 4.5 volt and answer the following questions. So, totally 3 bulbs are there. So, let us write it as B1 is equal to B2 is equal to B3 is equal to B itself. Reason it is all the 3 bulbs are identical the same, which is connected in a form of parallel. So, the combination is in a form of parallel, and then the battery value, that means the potential difference value is going to be V is equal to 4.5 volt. What will happen to the glue for the other 2 bulb? If bulb 3 is got fused, suppose if the bulb 3 is got fused, means whether the glue, that means the brightness will get increased or it will get decreased. So, that is what they are asking. So, you need to say whether the brightness will start to increase or else the brightness will start to decrease. So, that is what you are going to prove over here. So, what type of combination it is? It is in a form of parallel combination. So, what is the formula for calculating the parallel? 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. First, let us calculate the resistance if all the 3 bulbs are connected. So, 1 by Rp is equal to, since all the 3 bulbs are identical, the value of resistance also is going to be same. So, you can just take it as R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 will be equal to R. Now, substitute over there R plus 1 by R plus 1 by R. So, 1 by Rp is equal to, so the common denominator is going to be R. Numerator alone is just add 1 plus 1 plus 1, it is going to be 3. We need R or Rp? Rp. Now, take the reciprocal. R by 3. Since we do not know what is the value of resistance, let us assume the value of resistance is going to be 1. So, now substitute over there, Rp is equal to 1 by 3. What is the value of 1 by 3? 3 ohm. So, in the question what they said, if two bulbs alone is working, that means the third bulb is not working, means 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Again 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by, sorry, here R1 won't come, 1 by R, as we are assuming the value of R1, R2 or R3 are R itself. So 1 by Rp is equal to, the denominator is going to be R, so numerator it is 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. So therefore Rp is equal to R by 2, so since we are taking the reciprocal over here. So already we assume what is the value of R over here, 1. So the Rp is equal to 1 by 2. So the Rp is equal to 1 by 2 is going to be 0.5 ohm. So here totally how many devices are there? 3 devices. Here totally how many devices are there? 2 devices. That means if the number of devices is getting increased, the resistance is getting decreased or increased? Decrease. If the number of devices is getting decreased, what is happening to the resistance? Increase. So the formula is P is equal to V square by R. Since the potential difference is constant, we can say that power is inversely proportional to the resistance. What is the meaning of the word inversely proportional? If resistance is more, power will be less. If resistance is less, power will be more. That means if one bulb is not working, means the resistance is getting increased or decreased? Resistance is getting increased. That means this condition. If resistance is getting increased, means the power will increase or decrease? Power will get decrease. So that means what will happen to the glow over here? The glow will get reduced, or you can say that the glow will get decreased. Clear? You no need to derive these and all. You just remember this concept alone. If the number of devices is getting increased, so the resistance will get decreased. If number of devices is getting decreased, the resistance will get increased. Suppose if 2 bulbs are not working, by the time whether the glow will remain same or it will increase or it will decrease further? It will decrease. Reason it is, if one bulb alone is working, means by that time the net resistance will be equal to 1 ohm. Compared to this value, here the net resistance is more. That means if resistance is more, means what will happen to the power? Power will get decreased. Now go to the B question. It's 5 minutes. So now read the B question. If the wattage of each bulb is 1.5 volt, how much reading will the ammeter A will show when all the 3 bulbs glow simultaneously? Wattage means it represents it as the power. So the power of each bulb. So what is the power of each bulb? They said P1 is equal to, P2 is equal to, P3 is equal to 1.5 watt. And the potential difference, we already know the value of potential difference going to be V is equal to 4.5 volt. So they are asking what is the current in the ammeter A. This one we need to find. For finding the ammeter A, first we need to calculate how much amount of individual current is passing through A1, A2 and then A3, and then we can add over there. So we can use the formula P is equal to V into I. So we are going to calculate the amount of current which is passing through I1. I1 is equal to P by V. So I1 is equal to, what is the value of P over here? 1.5. And what is the value of V? 4.5. Now divide these two numbers. 1.5 divided by 4.5. That is going to be, so current I1 is equal to 0.333 ampere is there. Since all the 3 bulbs are having the same wattage, whether the current flow will change or else it remains the same. It will remain the same. So you can just write it as I1 will be equal to, I2 will be equal to I3. All the three bulbs are going to allow the same amount of current, 0.33 ampere. Now calculate the net current. I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. What is the value of I1? 0.33 plus 0.33 plus 0.33. If you are adding all the numbers, it will become as I is equal to 0.99 ampere. So this will be the amount of current which is passing through the ammeter A. Now we need to calculate the total resistance in the circuit. Shall I continue or else you can go for the break? Complete this alone. So we are going to calculate the total resistance. But in the question they didn't give the value of the resistance over here. So we need to identify what is the resistance of each bulb. Clear? So the formula over here, P is equal to V into I. P is equal to V square by R. P is equal to I square into R. In the previous sum itself, we calculated the amount of current, that is going to be 0.33 ampere. But the combination is in a form of series or parallel? Parallel. So either I need to use this formula or I need to use this formula. Let us number the formulas. Let us take it as 1, 2 and another one it is 3. Either I need to use 1 or 2 or 3. How many of you saying 3? 2. You can go along with the formula 2. So what is the formula over here? P is equal to V square by R. If I need R means R is equal to V square by P. If you are having any confusion in rearranging the formula, so this one will go that side and that one will come over here. No need to interchange this value itself. So R is equal to V square by P. Next. So this formula only are going to use over here. So R is equal to, what is the value of V? It is given in the question, 4.5. V square means 4.5 into 4.5 by, what is the value of power of each bulb? They send 1.5 volt watt. 1.5s are 1.5, 3 1.5s are 4.5. Now multiply these two numbers alone. So the R is equal to 4.5 into 3. 5 3s are 15, remainder 1. 4 3s are 12, 13. So the resistance of each bulb is going to be 13.5 ohm. But they asked us to calculate the total resistance. Since it is in a parallel, so what is the formula? 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by, what is the value of R1 we calculated? 13.5. The value of R2 and R3 are going to be same. Reason it is the power also it is same. Potential difference also is going to be same. As it is given earlier, the bulbs are identical. So all the resistance also will be same. 13.5 plus 1 by 13.5. Since the denominator is same over here, so you can write it as 13.5. 1 plus 1 it is going to be 3. So you need Rp alone. So the Rp is equal to 13.5 by 3. So the Rp is equal to, so 13.5 by 3, 4.5. So the Rp is equal to 4.5 ohm. So this will be the value of the net resistance. Next, last question. How many 88 ohm resistors are connected in parallel to carry a current of I is equal to 10 ampere, V is equal to 220 volt, and the resistance of each resistor is going to be 88 ohm. We need to calculate the number of resistors. So in the question they said that how many resistors are connected in a form of parallel. So we are having two conditions are there. If it is in series means R will be equal to N into R. If it is parallel means Rp is equal to R by N. So what is the Ohm's law formula? V is equal to I into R. In the place of R, either I need to substitute this formula or this formula based upon the combination what they gave. Here how it is connected? It is connected in a form of parallel. So what formula I can use over here? So V is equal to I into R by N. So the N alone I need to find. So the N is equal to I into R by V. So now write over here N is equal to, what is the value of I they gave? 10. What is the value of resistance? 88 by 220. 10 into 88, 880 by 220. 0, 0 will get cancelled each other. 122s are 422s are. So the number of resistors to be connected in a parallel will be in the form of 4 resistors must want to be connected.